What is a good life, anyway? It's this massive question, right? And people have been asking it forever. I mean, from the ancient Stoic philosophers in Greece and Rome, all the way to the positive psychologists in labs today. And what's so wild is that even with thousands of years between them, they often land on the exact same powerful answers. So today, we're going to explore that incredible connection.
The Roman philosopher Seneca just completely nailed it with this one. Seriously, think about it. You're waiting for a big piece of news, maybe a job offer. The reality is, you're just sitting there. But what's your mind doing? It's spinning out 100 different disaster scenarios, right? That's what he means. So much of our stress, our anxiety, it doesn't come from what's actually happening, but from the horror movies we direct in our own heads. It's an internal battle.
Okay, so how do we even begin to wrap our heads around this idea of the good life? It can feel so big and vague, but luckily modern psychology gives us a fantastic way to break it down by splitting well-being into two totally distinct but equally important types.
So, on one hand, you've got hedonic well-being. This is pretty simple. It's all about feeling good. You know, seeking pleasure, avoiding pain. Think of that amazing slice of pizza, or kicking back on a beach vacation. Pure enjoyment. But that's only half of the picture. The other side is eudaimonic well-being, which is about functioning well. This stuff is deeper. It's about having a sense of meaning, of purpose, of really living up to your potential. See, a life that's only about pleasure can start to feel hollow. But a life that's only about purpose can totally burn you out. The real sweet spot, the good life, needs a healthy dose of both.
So, let's dive into the first pillar, something the ancient Stoics were absolute masters of, getting your inner world in order. This is all about building this kind of internal fortress, you know? A place of strength and calm inside you that can handle whatever chaos the world throws at it.
The Stoics basically built their entire philosophy around this one single game-changing question. They believe that your peace of mind, your happiness, it all comes down to one skill, being able to clearly see the difference between what you can actually change and, well, what you can't. For them, getting good at this wasn't just a nice to have, it was the absolute key to a good life.
And boom, Epictetus just lays it out perfectly here. And you have to remember, this is a guy who was born a slave. He had zero control over his body, his freedom, his circumstances, and yet he became one of the most influential thinkers in history. He knew that things like traffic, the weather, what other people think of you, that's all external noise. But your response to it, your judgments, your choices, your actions, those are always 100% yours to own.
And here's the best part. You can put this to work like right now. It's a super simple 3-step process. Take any problem that's stressing you out. Step 1, just name it. Step 2, grab a piece of paper and make 2 columns, can't control and can control, and be brutally honest. Step 3, and this is the magic part, mentally, or even literally, cross out that whole can't control list. Just let it go. And then pour every ounce of your energy into that can control list. This little exercise immediately shifts you from worrying to acting. It's so powerful. Because at the end of the day, for the Stoics, a beautiful life has nothing to do with how you look or what you own. It's about making beautiful choices. When you consistently choose to be brave, to be fair, to act with integrity, all things that are totally within your control, you are literally crafting a beautiful life, a beautiful character.
Okay, so once we start getting a handle on our inner world, we can turn our focus outward to the second pillar, building a thriving outer world. And this is where modern science just comes in and gives ancient wisdom a massive high five, showing us that our connections with other people are absolutely critical for our well-being. And I'm not just saying this is a nice idea. It's one of the strongest, most consistent findings in all of positive psychology. I mean, get this. Some studies have found that being socially isolated can be as damaging to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. No joke. The quality of our relationships is one of the single best predictors of our health, our happiness, and even how long we live. They really are at the very heart of it all.
So, how do we actually build these rock-solid relationships? Well, here is one incredibly powerful and maybe kind of surprising technique. We usually think being a good friend means showing up when someone is having a hard time, right? And that's important for sure. But the research shows that what's even more crucial for building strong bonds is how you show up when things are going right for them.
Let me break this down. When someone shares good news, you basically got 4 ways you can react. You can be destructive, either by actively shooting them down or by passively just ignoring it. You can be passively constructive, a quiet, oh, that's nice. But the real magic, the secret sauce for relationship building, is in that top left box, active, constructive responding. This means you share their joy, you show genuine enthusiasm, you ask questions, you help them relive it. This one single habit can absolutely transform your connections with people.
And that technique is just one tool in a bigger toolbox for building your outer world. But notice the pattern here. All of these things are about focusing on other people, giving freely, helping your coworkers get a win, listening just to understand, not to reply. These aren't huge dramatic gestures. They're the small, consistent things that weave a really strong social fabric around you.
All right, so we've looked at these two huge pillars, mastering the inner world of our choices and building an awesome outer world through our relationships. Now it's time to bring it all together and see how they create a life that's truly filled with purpose. This right here is the whole synthesis. It's beautiful. Think of it like this, that Stoic resilience from Pillar 1, that's like the strong, deep roots of a tree. It gives you stability, keeps you grounded. And then the positive connections from Pillar 2. Those are the branches, reaching out into the world, connecting and bearing fruit. You need both to really thrive. And that combination, that's the definition of a eudaimonic life. A life that isn't just about fleeting moments of happiness, but about a deep, unshakable sense of meaning and fulfillment.
As we're thinking about building this kind of life, Seneca comes back with one last urgent reality check. It's a bit of a gut punch, but it's so important. We tend to think of death as this one big event way off in the future, but the Stoics saw it differently. They saw every single second that ticks by as a tiny little death, a moment that is now gone forever, which you can never, ever get back.
And that brings us to the final, most important point. The only time we really, truly have is right now, this moment. So the question isn't just some abstract, what is a good life? The real question is, what choices, both inside yourself and out in the world, are you going to make today to build one? How are you going to use this precious, unrepeatable moment that is completely and totally yours?